Hi, welcome back. I'm Dr. Patty.
Hi, I'm Dr. Angela.
Welcome back to our channel, Pretty Well, where we know that we are all doing our very best and we are all doing pretty well. Let's work together to do even better.
Yes.
And today we want to talk to you a little bit about fatigue and energy and adrenals. If you've watched any of our past videos and on some of our social media, we've talked about adrenal fatigue or how our adrenals affect our hormones. But how do you even know if you have adrenal issues?
Right, because a lot of things can bring on fatigue and it's not necessarily an adrenal cause. And so just wanting to get to the root cause of our issues. And so how do we do that?
So testing is the main way that we do this. And there's several ways of testing. So we can go the conventional route of looking at blood work to look at our DHEA levels and our adrenal function, but this only measures full-blown disease.
Well, it's looking at one spot in time, and so which end of the spectrum you end up on, right? We could be in adrenal failure or adrenal excess.
So it's looking for Cushing's or Addison's. Those are the
Right.
two main diseases,
Right.
but they're the two end points of the spectrum.
Exactly.
And what Dr. Angela and I do, and a lot of other naturopathic doctors and integrative doctors, is that we want to look at our adrenal function. How are our adrenals functioning and how are things going?
At different times throughout the day.
So we have done saliva testing in the past, and it's been very useful to look at adrenal function in patients. And that's also been done on a 4-point test, meaning that patients have taken saliva samples at certain times throughout the day to see where your cortisol levels are.
Yes.
But more recently, in the past few years, we have been doing something called the Dutch test with patients,
Yes.
right? And it looks like this. It just comes in a little envelope that you take home and you do at home. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But this is a urine test.
Yes.
So not saliva, not blood, but urine that you do at home.
Yeah, and so conventionally through endocrinologists as well, there are 24-hour urine tests where you collect urine for 24 hours and you get the total amount of cortisol and DHEA that you secrete within a 24-hour period. And that's really helpful information. But again, it can also be really helpful for us to know all throughout the day. So first thing in the morning, later in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, what are those levels looking like? So we can tell where, first of all, is there a problem occurring at all? And if there is, what kind of a problem is it and at what hours of the day, to just really get to specific treatment and fine-tuning things.
So keep in mind, we're not just these static creatures where everything is just, even Steven all day long. We have a rhythm to our hormones, to our cortisol, and it's why we get jet lagged. I always tell patients that jet lag isn't just about timing being off. It's not like you come home and you're just tired at 4 o'clock from having traveled internationally. It throws everything off and you feel fatigued, you feel kind of fluish, you have all these other symptoms because we have a certain rhythm that the body wants to be on. And so when we test adrenals through urine, these functional tests, looking at how your adrenals are functioning, it gives us a little bit more information about when it should be at its peak and is it coming down nice and slowly the way that it should, how's your morning cortisol, and that gives us a lot of information. And we hear the term adrenal fatigue a lot, and it is a real term that's been used a lot in the medical world and especially in naturopathic medicine, but
And functional medicine
and functional
circles.
medicine, yes. But it's really more about determining if you have adrenal dysfunction. So maybe your cortisol levels, your cortisol hormone, stress hormone levels are perfectly fine, but they go up at night, and that's why you can't sleep. Weirdly, sometimes if they're low at night, you can't sleep either. So instead of just kind of playing the guessing game and taking a bunch of adaptogens or taking things that bring you down, it's going to be more helpful to look at where you are at certain points during the day, where your levels are, what they should be. Is the graph happening in a nice way? And we're going to try to insert, if I can figure out my
The
editing. Yeah, we'll try to insert a little clip of what one of the test results looks like. So you get a lot of information. And this test in particular, again, it's called the Dutch. It stands for Dried Urine Test for Comprehensive Hormones. Now this test in particular, you could do just the adrenals. So you just look at your cortisol and cortisone levels.
And DHEA too, I
And
think. on that.
DHEA, yes. Or you can do the whole comprehensive, which is what I have a tendency to do
Yes.
with most of my patients. And that will look at
Sex hormones.
so estrogen, progesterone, testosterone.
And all the metabolites, so how your body's using those hormones and kind of downstream.
Yeah, how it's being broken down,
Exactly.
right?
So what's our liver doing? What are we doing with our methylation? All that good.
So it's a lot of helpful and comprehensive information. And it comes like this, I prescribe it to patients. It comes in a little kit. You take it home and, you basically pee on these special pieces of paper. There's specialized paper inside this little booklet, and you pee on it at 4 specific times, sometimes 5 if you wake up during the night. And then you let it dry, you send it to the lab, and they send your doctor all this wonderful, thorough information. And then we can be a little bit more individualized,
Yes.
comprehensive in terms
Specific.
of our treatments and our treatment strategy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we hope this helps you. If this is new information and you want to share this with somebody, please do. If there's something specific you want to learn about, please let us know about that. We'll let you know more about this testing too in the description box as well as usual.
We'll link the lab down below so you can get on, and they have great information on their website.
Yeah, you can watch
Sorry
a
I
lot.
talk so much.
Why?
Before we started this video, I told Dr. Angela, I think I'm going to just have you chat more, and I'm going to learn a lot from you. And then I just could not stop talking. So
I love it.
Sorry about that. But hopefully you guys found this to be helpful. We love this test. I do it on so many of my patients, and I think you do
I do
as
too.
well.
I pretty much do almost exclusively Dutch testing these days because
Me
it's
too.
so easy and cost effective, and so not exclusive. I do blood work as well, but in terms of trying to get the cortisol levels, I've gone to Dutch for most of that. So yeah, check it out if you haven't already. It's a great one, and we will see you back here soon.